We've got one more film on today's show that's called It's Only the End of the World, directed by Xavier Dolan, a film of his we reviewed on our podcast back in 2014 or 2015 called Mommy, which was this really, well, from what I've heard, amazing film which Joe saw. I didn't get a chance to see it.
It was almost the aspect ratio that was...
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 aspect ratio. Cineworld would... they wouldn't know what to do.
They'd still put it in like...
They would still put it in 235, but anyway... So this is the follow-up from that. I think it's his 7th film for Xavier Dolan. He's only 27 years old, so he's already establishing himself as one of the hardest working filmmakers in France. This won the Grand Prix at Cannes when it was released, I think in 2016. Yeah, that's right. And it's been met with
mixed response.
Yeah, to
say the least.
Obviously, it won that award at the festival, which means it went down a big hit at Cannes. But since then, some people have criticised it for being a bit pretentious. Some people have said that it's a masterpiece, some kind of work of genius. I was on Letterboxd, and it's like the number of like 4- and 5-star reviews. It's insane. Like, you wouldn't think that it had that kind of mixed response just from that little snapshot you see, but it has. So this is the story of Louis. He is a playwright. He is gay, and 12 years ago from when the story is set, he moved away from home, and in those 12 years he hasn't seen his family. He's kind of communicated through postcards, and that's all. And then he finds out that he has a terminal illness, so he decides to come home, where he's met by his mother. He's also got his brother there, played by Vincent Cassel, and his wife, who realises he's never met, Marion, Cotillard, and his younger sister, Seydoux, who was too young to remember him when he was around. So he kind of has to reintroduce himself to the family, he has to reintegrate, and he has to try and deal with how he's going to give this awful news, basically. A lot of the film is shot in close-up, so it's very uncomfortable. Even as if it was that 1:1 frame, like, it's still a 2:35 frame, but you just feel very squashed in. But the big strength of the film, I think, is the music that it uses. There's a bit with... Do you remember a song called... it's the Numa Numa song. There's a bit when that's in it, and that really works. That's a really, really strong part of the film. There's a song that comes in at the start of the film, which we're going to play it in just a few minutes' time. And that's a real strength. I think Mommy was the same thing. That had a lot of pop songs in it, integrated in really, really well. So it's a big strength. Performances across the board are really good. And for some reason, I mean, I love them both already, but Marion, Cotillard and Seydoux, there's something about them in this film. They just like stand out more than usual. Marion Cotillard's playing this very coy, shy kind of character who I think really feels sympathy with Louis from the off, and they have this strong bond. She's very nervous around him. And then Seydoux as well as this younger sister who doesn't know anything about this guy, but apparently he's her brother. It's a weird dynamic. It's a strange film. I think Vincent Cassel's very good in it as well. I think it is a bit pretentious, possibly. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but after about 45 minutes, same as Q as well. And actually, I was a bit bored and a bit exhausted.
Started away a bit thin.
Yeah, I think it's a fairly short film. It's like 90 minutes, like boom. But I don't know. I never really got engaged with it as I thought I might have wanted to, which is a shame. But I can see that within Xavier Dolan, there's a lot of talent and a lot of potential to win Oscars and all the big awards.
He still is young.
He's still so young.